Hi everyone. I'm here today to show you something that I'm just learning how to do. So this is a very beginning. This is a very beginning of a professionally done piece. Yeah, very beginning. I am one of those that you would call a professional mess maker and do it yourselfer and do it your own wayer kind of a person. And so here is a weaving that I have almost finished, but I got a little loop of yarn here and I want to hang something from here. And I'm not sure. I kind of had an idea of having this key hanging from here, but I need to stain and paint the key first. That's what I think I'm going to do. I don't know. I might change my mind. But anyway, this is this is like I say, I'm just learning. Well, actually, I've done weaving before years and years and years ago. But what I've done before was on just a little loom, a small loom, and I did it just plain ordinary with just yarn all the way up and all the same, no dimension or anything. Well, then now I've been seeing people that do this weaving that there's really dimension and there's really so beautiful the weavings that they're doing. And this kind of looks like a landscape, and I've kind of was thinking maybe it would be like the ground and then maybe a river and then some more forest and then the sky, and but not really, it's just sort of. And so anyhow, and then I have a little fringe put at the bottom here. And so, and I think it turned out really pretty. And one of the things too, I thought you have to have a loom. You don't have to even have a loom. You can make a loom out of a piece of cardboard if you wanted to do that, which I'm going to try that too. But this is using a picture frame. And I crocheted around the picture frame, and that is my weaving loom, but it's going to stay on here. So it's framed already and ready to hang. One of the things I'm going to do still on it is I'm going to put a backing on here. Most weavers, when I watch a lot of weavers, a lot of different weavers to see what they're doing, and I see how they want to make the back look almost like as pretty as the front. Well, I don't have that going on right here. So I thought, I can take like a piece of upholstery fabric or anything, a burlap or something, and cut it the same size here, and I can stitch it to this frame then. The yarn on the frame, I can stitch it and have a backing on there so that it will look finished and nice. But in here, I've got yarn. This is like this brown is like uh, binding, like a seam binding kind of thing, but it's heavy, like upholstery something. This here, right here, is sari silk, and then there's some more of a different kind of yarn. This is a real chunky yarn, and this is another yarn that I put knots in it. This one's got knots in it. This is uh, fiber. It is wool roving, and then some more yarn up here. Oh, that's this yarn right here. And and it's some of it's not got knots, and some of it does have knots. And but I want to show you just how I did this one. And so, like I say, I've always said I'm not a teacher. I'm just a doer. I just do stuff, and I want to show you what I'm doing. And so, because there's a lot of you, I know because I've talked to so many of you, and I find that a lot of you are like me. I just can't follow directions. And I like to come up with whatever I come up with. And so, this is what I came up with. Like I can see from, and as I go, I learn. Like one thing I learned here is see, I can see my warp threads up here. Well, I don't want to see my warp thread, so the next one I do, I'm going to warp it in the same yarn that I use to crochet the frame. I don't want to do them warp threads the same. And then one thing too is I learned by doing is after I had all of my fringe on, then it was all scaggy waggly. Well, it is still kind of scaggy waggly. But I did another one that was this round one. I did this one on a embroidery hoop, and my fringe was long, but it was all scaggly waggly, and I'm cutting with scissors and cutting with scissors, and then this one got too short, so then I'd cut this side a little bit shorter, and then this side. Before long, I had this real short fringe, and it's still not straight, and I would have rathered it be long, although this is fine too. This one here I did on a embroidery hoop, which the back is okay. And but on here I got yarn. I've got some fuzzy yarn, and I got some different yarn, and I got some this kind of yarn. And this red is Sari Silks, and I just have anything you can weave. Anything will weave. Just tear the sleeve off your husband's shirt and cut it in strips and weave it. Tell him that you had a moment of senility. But what I learned then was that I can lay my ruler, and so I laid my ruler, although it's still not real straight, I just laid my ruler like this. I'm still going to try and get it straighter, and use my rotary cutter. See if I can get it a little straighter there. And there, I got a straight edge on my fringe. I'm so excited. See, so we learn as we go. Well, sometimes I learn. I don't always learn. And but that's the one that I made. There you go. Now I'm going to show you. I've got a frame. This is it's just plastic. Probably bought it at the dollar store. I don't know. There was a picture of somebody's baby in there. I took it out. Can't remember which child that was. But anyway, I'm going to show you how I started this whole shebang. I'm going to show you. I'm going to, well, let me see. I got to get a smaller crochet hook here. Let me see. This one's too gigundous. Let me see if I can find one that's not quite so gigundous. And, ooh, I want this one here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thread, my yarn, and I'm going to tie it and get that in a knot here. I'm going to tie it on so it's tied on. So it's there and it's not going to go anywhere. And, oh my gosh, I've also woven on sticks. They're in the other room. My stick weaving. Okay, so now I got that on there. Now you can, if you want to, just keep wrapping. But crocheting is a little faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just reach it from the back, the thread, and bring it around the front and then make a single crochet. And then reach around back, grab the thread, bring it around the front, and do a single crochet. And we're going to grab it from the back, bring it around front, and single crochet. And we're going to do this all the way around until this whole frame is covered. And then you have a frame that you can do your weaving on. And the thing about having this all crocheted around or yarned around, even if you just wrap it, is then when you do warp it, when you put the warp threads on, the warp threads go up and down, and then your weft is what goes east and west. That's how I can remember that. Up and down is your warp, and then what's weft is your weft. You go east to west. Okay. But anyhow, I'm going to do my warp thread out of this same yarn as I'm going all the way around it with. Now this is going to take me a while, so I'm going to not make you go through all of this, because now you have to now jump up and go find a frame. Just go, if you don't, just look on the wall. You're going to find one. Take your least favorite picture or your favorite picture, doesn't matter what. Just stick them pictures in a box and take the frame. And go get a piece of yarn and a crochet hook if you want to crochet, and or if you want to just wrap it, you don't need a crochet hook. And so This is a pretty color. I love that. I love that color. And since there's some lavender in here, I might use some of these colors that's in here. I might use in the actual weaving as well. And so that it'll like be all matchy watchy, you know. But you don't have to have things that match. Just have them whatever. Just, you know, go with the flow. Just go with the flow. And and you don't have any reason to have, I mean, you know, if you do a small enough one, a small enough frame, you could actually stitch this whole thing to the front of a journal. You could, if you had a journal, if you had this on the front of a journal cover, a fabric journal cover, you could actually stitch or glue this whole thing. This is kind of big. You'd have to have a big, I'm not done with this one. I still have to do this edging on here because this one I did the edging later. But yeah, there is stuff. Stuff will just pop in your head. I mean, just when you in fact, this one here, that one that I did now, I was talking to a friend on the telephone and the thought just popped in my head. And so while I was talking to her, I just started doing it. And she says, "What are you doing?" I said, I don't really know, but I think I'm going to try something. And so, and that is just what you do. You just do it. Now, going around the corner here, I don't know if, you know, going around the corner, I'm not sure how well this is going to go with this yarn. On that other one, I used a real bulky yarn. And I may have to go with a piece of yarn afterwards and draw it together at the corners, or I might be able to just push it enough to get it to cover the whole corner. But I may have to just get a tapestry needle and some yarn and just stitch around that corner to make sure that, because I don't want any of this old frame to show. But see, I'm just going under the frame. Under the frame, grab the yarn and single crochet. Under the frame, grab the yarn and single crochet. Under the frame, grab the yarn and single crochet. See how it's all loose? That's okay, because you push it together like this. And then keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going like you know what you're doing. Just, you know, just like you know what you're doing. And so then, like my stitches aren't all exactly the same, but hey, you know what? This is art. This is not like somebody's got to wear it to church. It's just art. And in art, like Bob Ross always said, there is no mistakes. There's just happy accidents. Bob Ross said that. And he was a professional. I think he died, though. So he's painting the sky now, I'm sure. So when you look up at the sky and see really pretty clouds, you could say, wow, Bob Ross is doing a good job. But anyhow, see, let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the magic of a pause button, and I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to continue this all the way around, and then I'll come back to you when I get it like around. See, now, like what I said is it's all gappy there, but see, then I'll go this way. And I can turn this, then when I'm done, look, I got all the stitch right there. I can then just kind of mold it around, and have all the stitching right there. Or I can have all the stitching wherever I want. I can just even it up. See that? It looks pretty crummy right now, right? But you wait, because when I come back, it's going to be uncrummy. So Just reach under the frame, grab the yarn, and single crochet. Grab the yarn, pull it up, single crochet. Under the frame, grab the yarn, pull it up, single crochet. And you just keep that. Oh yeah, that's what I said I was going to pause this thing. I haven't paused yet because I have to stop to pause. And if I stop, who knows, I might drop my hook. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and pause. This is called pausing right here now. Okay, well, I just wanted to show you here now. I got this whole one side done, and I kept shoving it up, you know, so that I had plenty of coverage there. And then now my frame here, it's like a molded plastic, and so it has got like little things here that your yarn wants to hang up on. So I can see that it's going to be a little troublesome going around the corner. So what I'm going to do here now is to just be sure that I have plenty up here, so that, and then I'm going to turn the corner and I want plenty here, so that I'm going to almost have to restart as I go around the corner. And let me see. Okay, this is the last stitch I'm going to put on this side. And then I'm going to go and then get started putting stitches around the corner on this next side. Under the frame, over, grab the thread, single crochet. But see, my problem is that I'm going to have this corner hard to cover. So that's why I'm going to make sure I have plenty of stitches on this side too, and this side. But see, I'll be able to smooth my stitches down to where it still covers the whole frame, but they'll slide down to where I'll be able to get them to meet in this corner. So I'll be able to slide them stitches to meet. And like I said before, up on this corner, I'll have more yarn that I can take and stitch it right on together here, or maybe even make a fancy stitch of some kind just to get it stitched together. So now I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to finish stitching all the way around this frame. Okay, I seem to have gotten my frame completely crocheted around. So, and I ended here, and I think I will just, well, I never know how to finish something off, so I just kind of fake it, you know. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie a knot here with this thread, just like this. And so nobody will even know it's there. Just make sure it's a good knot, and it's not going to come unthreaded. And I'll give that a little snip, snip. Probably should have tied it in the back. Oh well, but I didn't think of that. While I was doing this, I was thinking, how cool would it be? And I'm going to try that later on. But with this one, I'm going to go on with my first plan. But I was thinking, how cool would it be to warp this where the threads are only hooked to the bottom, and then warp it up, like up and down, and around to about halfway. So it's almost like a fan of warp all around. And then make a tree where there's nothing here, but then just the tree. Oh, that would be so cool. I'm going to try that. But anyway, now I have this yarn too. This is an add-on yarn. A filler yarn, add-on yarn, or something, what they call this. Some people call it some sort of eyelash trim or something. Well, what it is, it's made for adding on. So, like if you're knitting a hat with this, or crocheting a hat, you would put this yarn with this yarn and just go ahead with your crocheting or whatever, and you would have these little tufts all the way around. Okay, but I'm not doing that. I just learned that, and that's why I thought I'd share that with you. But I thought what would be cool is if I take some of this. I'm going to take some of this, and I'm just going to tie this on here. And I am going to, I want to just kind of wrap it around here and there along all the way around, just so it gives it a little bit more of something. Because I am one who always thinks everything should have a little bit more. Not a little bit less, but a little bit more. I got some other ideas that the ideas just pop in my head sometime. I think I don't, well, maybe I don't, but you know the bangle bracelets people wear? I was thinking about using a small embroidery hoop, but then I thought, no, what if I had some of them little bangle bracelets and did weaving in them and make a tree? It's like that. That would be cool, I think. I got some in my old jewelry junk. I have to look at my old jewelry junk and see. But see here now, it's looking like it snowed or something. But see, then if I use some of this kind of a color in with my weaving, then I think that would look pretty cool. So now if I just cut this off and tie this right here. Let me see here. Tie little knots so it stays put where I put it. Stays put right where I put it. There. Now. So that gave that a little fluff around here. And I think that is just a cool look. Now, I think my corners will be fine. I don't know. I'll wait till I'm finished with that. But now I'm going to warp it. I'm going to warp the frame. And I'm going to use this same yarn as I wrapped with. And now I'm going to warp it. Which warping it is these threads that go up and down that you weave through. So I'm going to just start by putting a little, start it down here. I'm just going to tie that right on with a knot. I don't know if that's proper, but I'm doing things just the old grandma way. This is the old grandma way. Now, oh, I'm going to have to, you know what? I have to cut yarn. I have to cut me some, and I'm not even measuring it, so now I don't know how much I need. I'm going to have this because I can't have it in the spool there. Okay, so I'm going to take this much. This much. Boy, it's a good thing I'm not teaching. Okay, and so I'm actually going to put this. Yes, love? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, good.
Where'd Tommy go?
Where'd Tommy go? Huh?
Yeah.
Working, I guess.
No, she just come back home. She was coming over here to, I thought she came over here to see you.
No, I haven't seen her.
No, her app screwed up,
Uh-huh.
and because she didn't take any orders for a certain amount of time, she lost
Her slot?
her slot for the night.
Oh, she'll be okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to put this on my thing here. On this. What do you call this thing? I don't remember. This is called an I don't remember. But I'm getting my thread put on here. My yarn. Why am I calling it thread? It's yarn. Well, it's all kind of thread. It's some kind of a fiber. I'm just putting it on here. Good night. How much did I pull out of there? Oh, wait. I might have got more than I need, but that's okay. It looks pretty on here. Looks pretty good on this thing. This is like a shuttle. Is that what this is? A shuttle? I think this is a shuttle. I'm winding my shuttle. I think it's a shuttle. So, oh, I almost got it all on there. Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. I've got it almost on there. Okay, now. See, I don't plan ahead. I really need to be planning ahead. Okay, so now I got it tied there, and I couldn't do it right from the spool because I have to wrap it. See, so I'm going to wrap up here and then come back down to this first one that I should have put over further, but I didn't. Okay, it's okay. And I'm going to match it up right. I'm going to bring it down there and wrap that to this side, but match it with this one that I just put there. And then I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to wrap it about a ½ an inch away and just wrap one wrap and then come down through the center, and I'm going to go down about a ½ an inch from that one. And then I'll wrap down here, go back up to the center and go back up here and wrap about a ½ an inch, but I wrap it around and that keeps it more sturdy. And then here again, like a ½ an inch away or so. And I'm not a perfectionist by any stretch of the imagination. Now they're all crooked. So I'm going to go back up here. I need to get straightened out here some. This will work even if you don't do it right. This works even if you do not do it right. I am not kidding. This is the beauty of this weaving thing. So I'm going to try and get my work up here. My line's a little straighter, so put that there. Wrap it. Come back here. Yeah, now I look like I'm pretty straight. But once we start weaving this thing, even though my stripes aren't, my wefts aren't straight, when you're on a weaving loom, it's a whole different because the loom has got little slots. And so then when you do something, you're all like nice and pretty and everything. But I have no slots here. I don't even have half a brain. So I'm just weaving, just warping along here as I go. And you'll see how this does not even matter if it's straight or if it's crooked. And it's fine. It's just fine. Your mother will love it. Your neighbors will love it. Doctor, the head honcho at the yacht club will love it. All of them. Okay. I can't believe I'm actually videotaping this. Oh yes, I can believe it. I can believe anything I do because I don't have any kind of like I don't have to worry about my reputation or nothing. Not at this stage of the game. When you get to be 72 years old, yeah. Then, but at each point I wrap it so that it's going to stay put right there in that place. And wrap, see, before I come back down. Now, I think I have it pretty good here. Now, if you are a weaving expert or want to learn weaving the correct way, you're on the wrong channel. So now I'm going to just tie this on here. So all of my little warp threads At least I know I got the word right. Warp. It is a warp. Once I learned that it's either a warp or a weft, and the weft is what you got left and it goes from right to left, then I know I got that part right. And I know that the loom is called a loom. Okay, so I'm going to tie this just to a string here. Tie it. Just so I know it's not going to go anywhere. And so you just tie however you tie things. That part of it was a tutorial. You just tie however you tie things. There. Now that's okay. I don't know which is supposed to be the front and which is supposed to be the back. But anyhow, now this is only the beginning. Doesn't look like much, does it? These might be a little long, these little funny things I put on there. If I decide later I don't want them on there, I'll take them off. But I got a feeling that I'm going to like them on there even later. More later than earlier. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually weave some here at the bottom. I've heard some call that this is a hem, the hem at the bottom, because I want to put a fringe at the bottom. So I'm going to first, before I put the fringe on, I need to put just a few rows of just basic weaving. So I've still got thread, and I'm going to still use the same yarn for my weaving. So I'm going to go in. So you go under. Now see what I have here is I just have, I could go, wait a minute, I will. I'm going to go under the first one, then over the second one, under the third one, under the fourth one, and so, and because my warp threads are separated here at the bottom by the thickness of the so usually you can just go like, oh, well, I could still do that under and push my threads up with my finger. And I'm going to go ahead and do it that way, and then over and under. So that one I've actually got 3 warp threads in there. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And so right here you see now I've got that first line of threads is just over, under, over, under, over each one of these 2 groups there, even pieces of 2 groups. Okay, and so then we and then whenever you're pushing your threads down in any kind of a weaving too, you kind of push them down gently, because if you pull them too tightly, then these right here in the center, these warp threads will go in the middle and you'll end up with like an hourglass. But you don't want to do that, so you be very careful, and you usually you start pushing them down in the center and then go toward the end. And then now I ended this one under, so that's going to be over, under, over, under, just like if you was weaving paper. So where I went under before, I'm over. And you see, so it's over, under, over, under, over, and over. Okay. So see, then I will get this thread like this, but I don't want to pull it real tight. And I'll pull it down like this, but then see, it's how it's kind of rounded. And that's how you're supposed to do it, because I've seen people say that. And see, and then push that down. So now the next one I'm going to go back and I will weave it up opposite of the last one, the overs and unders. The overs and unders. Over and under, over and under. And again, we'll just push these sides down a little bit and then go toward the middle. Now, when you're doing a weaving of a like a tighter weave, if the warps are tied together, a lot of people use a fork, like a eating fork, and use that and there's combs. They make combs that you can do this with too. But I'm using this tapestry needle thing, the majig. Okay, so now that's going to go over, under, and I'm going to put enough over unders until I got a good base down here, and my base feels like it's correct. And I heard some call it a hem. A hem. A hem. And always the opposite of the row before of the over and unders. You can also put your yarn on like a yarn needle, like on something like this. You can too. Or you can even do it with just your fingers. And just push that thread. But this is kind of nice for right here. And so, but yeah, when I was wrapping that frame, I thought, golly, I want to make a tree. Because I've made couched trees. I guess I'm a tree hugger sort of person. I love trees, and I've couched them. And then I thought, how about if you sort of did a couching, but did it in thin air, like on a weaving? Because since I've been looking at different weaving videos, oh my gosh, I have seen so much. There is so much out there. The one that I I can't say I like any of them best, but what I've learned a lot from is a girl. She calls her channel Spruce and Linen. And I'll make a link to hers, because now I've learned some of them are real super professional, and they got all the real super professional weaving looms and stuff. Spruce and Linen is more, she teaches more from the beginning, and she has a lot of good ideas, and she even has her own website where you can purchase little things. I haven't purchased anything from her, but she has got like a website store. But she'll do one type of a stitch on a video, on a little short video, and then the next video she'll show it with the next stitch, and it is really, and she's very, very easy to understand. Spruce and Linen. No, Spruce and Linen? Now that doesn't sound right. Well, I'll put it below. Once I said it, when I first said it, it sounded right. Spruce and Linen? What does either one of them have to do with white? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I just confused myself. So if I confuse you, hey, I confused myself first. I just had the nastiest lunch. God, somebody, you all need to tell me what I can eat. Okay, this is the guidelines. I can't have any vitamin K, or very little vitamin K, because of the blood clotting thing. And so that's all the green vegetables, everything that's green, and a lot of vegetables that aren't green have vitamin K. Okay, no vitamin K. Then also, I am diabetic. So there goes the carbohydrates. No carbohydrates, or very few carbohydrates. And Then I have this deal with salt. I have, yeah, I deal with salt. And because the salt causes a bit of, quite a bit of swelling in the circulation and whatever. I'm old, you know, you got to understand. Once you get old, you got stuff goes on. And so, no salt, no carbohydrates, no vitamin K. How can I eat healthy? I don't know. I just don't even know. But I just ate, I had a piece of fish, and I had egg, my fish and my egg. And I did eat a little bit of vegetables, but very little because of the vitamin freaking K. Did I say freaking? Okay, quit complaining, Elizabeth. People's got it worse than you do. Okay, I'm not complaining anymore. And I guess I shouldn't have put ketchup on my fish. That probably wasn't good. So anyway, lately I've been retaining so much water. My legs feel like logs. And so then I gotta take that dumb water pill. It makes you have to go use the bathroom every 5 minutes. Well, okay, I'm done complaining. No complaining. Okay, no complaining, Elizabeth. Good grief. Everybody's going to leave your channel. Okay, now, this might be, I'll put one more row of this. One more row of just plain up and down, in and out, over and under weaving. If you were making a rug, this is what you would do through the whole thing. All right, now what I want to do, see, now this will leave me a good ground for my fringe. And I'm going to go with the fringe, and then I'm going to stop. I'm just going to do with this fringe, and then I'm going to stop, and then, or maybe I should stop right here and make another video for the fringe. Yeah, I'm going to stop right here and then make another video because I got to go put my clothes in the washing machine. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop right here because this is just warping it. But I'm going to continue on and make another video probably today, so it'll be later. You can watch it later or tomorrow or the next day, or you don't have to watch it at all. It's just entirely and totally up to you. But this is where I'm at right now. Oh, yeah, soon Jeffrey will be here too. Oh, that is so good. I made my grocery order. That'll be delivered at 7. Oh, life is so good. I love being old. Okay. Now, okay, so then, now where am I at? I want my book. Okay, I have to get a different book because I don't know where I put that other book. Oh, here's one. Let me get this one. Oh, if I can reach it. Reach it. Excuse my boarding. Ah! My boarding house. Ah! I just dropped my speakers. Okay. Oh, well, that's okay. They don't need to be up there. Yes, they do. Otherwise, where I'll put them. Okay. Now, I had to reach for this book. I think this will be pretty, but that's just the beginning. So I put about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, put about 12 rows here, just the in and out, up and down. That's my start after going around this. Okay, this is Lovingly, Poems for All Seasons by Helen Steiner Rice. What season are we in? Spring? Okay, let me see. This comes from the guideposts. Spring should be, oh, that's Valentine's Day. Is it almost Easter? Oh, no, we don't have done with that. Okay, it's almost Easter, I think. All right, when I was young, I always knew when Easter was because I had to get Easter basket stuff and buy new dresses or make new dresses for the girls for Easter Sunday. You know, to go to church, we all would dress alike. They don't do that anymore. Easter bonnets and the little gloves and stuff. Patent leather shoes. Oh, I miss that. Okay, Easter. The revelations of Easter. Oh, wait a minute. glasses. There they are. Okay. Oh, that clears things right up. The waking earth at Easter reminds us it is true that nothing ever really dies that is not born anew. For nature in her springtime dress reveals kind Mother Earth, awakening from her winter sleep to give spring's children's birth. So trust God's all-wise wisdom, and doubt the Father never, for his heavenly kingdom for in his heavenly kingdom there is nothing lost forever. And here on this side it says, each spring God renews his promise. Long, long ago, in a land far away, there came the dawn on the first Easter day. And each year we see the promise reborn that God gave the world on that first Easter morn. For in his waking flower, no, for in each waking flower and each singing bird, the promise of Easter is witnessed and heard. And spring is God's way of speaking to men and renewing the promise of Easter again. For death is a season that man must pass through, and just like the flowers, God wakens him too. So why should we grieve when our loved one dies? For we'll meet them again in a cloudless sky. For Easter is more than a beautiful story. It's the promise of life and eternal glory. I have to say, that was very good. So then, I need to put a bookmark here. Oh, I'll just turn this flap over there. And so that is Poems for All Seasons by Helen Steiner Rice. And I really love Helen Steiner Rice's poetry. It's beautiful. Okay, now come back so you can see what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to put the fringe on there, but then there's going to be different things woven into this, like scrap fabrics. I always love scrap fabrics. There's going to be fabrics in here. There may be some more different kinds of yarn. There'll be probably some wool roving in here. And you wait till you see. It's going to be a real collection of different things in here, and then it'll be something that you can hang on your wall anywhere you want to hang it. Hang it in your car, hang it in the barn. You can hang it anywhere. Okay, may God watch over you every step you take, every move you make, keep you safe and keep you happy, keep you humble, keep you healthy. We really want that healthy and safe stuff going on. And love one another. God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.